So this is the latest and greatest of my electromagnet uh, release and start gate. Kind of go over the components. This is just a power supply. Use a 12-volt power supply because it just makes it easier with the solenoids. This is the remote to the basically the remote control. This little part right here, I have it under tape there. Basically you have to program it for latched mode. Make sure that the antenna can be a little bit free there, but that's really all that is. Let's start through all these components. This is just a barrel jack adapter, so it just takes the 12 volt and sends it to this, obviously, and then when you hit the remote it opens it up and sends it to the solenoid. This is a 12 volt solenoid right here, and this little spacer underneath, it's at 17.5 millimeters that it comes up. This is one of the secrets to having this gate be quiet. If you notice, when those touch, try to get in there, they're not perfectly parallel. You want it to hit on that forward. That'll keep that solenoid as quiet as possible. Let's keep going down. So this is a Hall sensor right here. Basically that eliminates the need for the micro switch. The micro switch is by far the loudest part of my setup, and so basically you have a micro switch on this side over here, a Hall switch, Hall sensor, and then on this side you have the magnet. So when those two come together, they make contact, inside the sensor, obviously, and it gives you the normally closed signal that you need for your timer. On this particular one, this person only wanted the start gate and the electromagnetic release, and so these two wires go to their timer, but it takes the part of the micro switch. You have these little things right here, and they're just 8 millimeter pillow bearing supports. Make sure you ask for a KP08. Big thing is make sure that you get the seals. Just get a little utility knife and pop those seals out. Another thing to make sure is that the bearings are square in these pillow blocks. Typically when I get these, they're off to an angle like that, or maybe up or down, so I grab this here in the vise, and then I just kind of straighten out those shafts the way I need them to be. It's really nothing to it. This right here is just a piece of 3/4 inch steel stock. As you can see, I have set screws here, and then I have another set screw there. By far the ugliest part of the start gate, but not a very good machinist. But on this side over here, you can see this is this part right here, so I'll just go over it here. This is just a 8 millimeter shaft support. So if you look at it on eBay or anywhere else you're going to look for it, just look for an 8 millimeter shaft support. Just got some quarter 20 bolts right there just to hold it on. On this particular side is where I put the magnet. Obviously, this magnet has to go this way like this to trigger the Hall sensor. And then, oops. But that just comes and closes on that, and that's what the magnet is holding, obviously. And let me see. You're gonna have to drill out the holes on these and on these. The way they come is too small, so I drill them out to 17/64 on these and on these right here. And then this obviously just a piece of aluminum. Nothing special. What is it? I think it's 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and that just goes there to hold the Hall sensor, the electromagnet, the barrel adapter, and the remote control. So did I go over this? Make sure that that is always not touching perfectly parallel. If it's parallel, it'll make noise. So those are really the two big secrets to the quietness of my gates. Is make sure you pull out these seals and make sure the little magnet is kind of cocked off a little bit. And obviously the hall sensor helps a lot, no micro switch sound. And then ensure that your remote control is in the latched mode. In the latched mode, it's going to work like a light switch, so it turns on and off when you hit the button. So you hit A, boom, turns on, hit A again, turns off. And that's the easiest way to operate these things. And it prevents your electromagnet from heating up too much. Well, I hope that answers anybody's questions if they have some. These are terribly simple and they're extremely quiet. If you need help building one, let me know.